Hey, hello Ollie, it's Mrs. O'Neill, and I am about to make our final video for this school year. So I have really missed seeing you face to face, but this is the best we can do. So this will be my last video, and I hope you enjoy it. I am in a shopping center, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around the shopping center and find some environmental features that you will find out in the community, okay? And these are things that you should be on the lookout for, all right? So these are things that help you know where to walk and where you can safely walk and where the cars will be and where the people would be, all right? So I'm at a mall actually, and I'm going to walk around the outside of the mall. If it starts to rain, I might have to go inside the mall. All right, so I'm starting on this end of this mall, and I'm going to start walking. And the first thing I encounter is, do you know what this is called? Let's see if your brother and sister can help you. It's bumpy, and it's a warning that you are near the street. It's a warning that your cane would pick up. It's called a tactile warning strip. So it's bumpy, and your cane will feel it, all right? Your feet can also feel it. And near this is a crosswalk. So this is the place where people should cross, all right? So when you find a tactile warning strip and a crosswalk, you can know that this is where you cross. Now, can you just walk out? Nope, because look at that, a car. There are cars. So what I have to do if I want to cross here is I have to listen. I have to look to the left and look to the right and see if there are any cars coming. And if there are no cars coming, that's when I can cross the street. So now is a time when I could cross the street. But I'm not, because I'm going to continue walking around, okay? So I'm going to keep walking on this sidewalk. Something else that I see is a curb. Sometimes the curb is painted yellow. This curb is not painted yellow, but that's something you should look out for because you don't want to trip over it or fall off of the curb. Here comes a curb that is painted yellow, so it's a little more noticeable. So I'm going to keep going. And here is another tactile warning strip. Now this one does not have a crosswalk. What it's letting you know is that this warning strip separates the sidewalk, which is here, from the street, the driveway, and there's a car to show you that this is where the cars are coming through. And we can cross here if we want to. We just have to let people slow down for us. So I am crossing because I'm going to go to my car and get an umbrella because it's starting to rain. So here I am at my car, and I'm just going to let the video roll for a minute, all right? Got to get my keys out. Let's see. You can see the junky inside of my car here. And I got my umbrella. Okay, so put the umbrella open and I'll be good to go. There we go. Now I'm good. You'll be able to hear the rain pattering on my umbrella. Okay, so here I am again. Here is something else I can show you while I'm on this side of the road. This says STOP, stop. This is for cars. So cars that are driving through here have to stop here before they pull out onto this main part of the driveway. And it's not a very good place to cross here because there's no crosswalk. So I'm going to have to very carefully go across. You should always cross at the crosswalk. Don't do what I just did and walk in the middle of the parking lot. But because this is a parking lot, the cars are not going too fast. and so people might cross at different places. All right, so here is another thing that we find out in the world. This is a speed bump. It's a little bump in the road, and it helps the cars slow down. All right, so we're going to keep going, and if you see something, let me know. You can yell it out to your brothers and sister, or your brother and sister. There's another tactile warning strip, and look what's right there with it, a crosswalk. Now the last crosswalk we saw was white, painted white. This one is painted in yellow, so it's a lot easier to see. So this is one of the places that you should cross this driveway. So every now and then when you have a big parking lot, so here's the parking lot of the mall. When there's a big parking lot, there's going to be several places to cross the street, and people are going to still cross the street in the non-painted crosswalk areas, but the best place for us to cross is where the crosswalks are. Now these things are little barriers that they put up so that cars are not likely to run up onto the sidewalk. These are also, it looks like they also have lights in them, so probably at night, I haven't ever been to this mall at night, but these probably light up at night to help people see, but they're also used as barriers so that people aren't driving up onto the sidewalk. All right, and you can see I'm walking right next to a driveway area that drives into the parking lot. There's another speed bump, so they have several of those. Ooh, here's something exciting. What is that thing? Do you know what that is? A fire hydrant. So this is what the fire truck comes up to. If something started to burn at this mall, if it was on fire, the fire truck would pull up next to this fire hydrant and connect its hose to it, and water would come out to put out the fire. So here is, this does not have a warning strip, but this, my feet are sloping down as I walk down, and there's a curb. This is called a curb cutout. So there's a curb here, and then it gets flat here and just connects to the road, to the pavement at the driveway. So this is for people who are in wheelchairs, and if you're in a wheelchair, you can roll yourself out to your car from the building, or if you're coming across, you can roll yourself up to the building onto the sidewalk. Now, they really should have a crosswalk here if people in wheelchairs are supposed to come up here, so that would be a good thing to have. I'm not really sure. Actually, maybe this is a loading area because I see some big doors here. So this might be for loading things, so people could wheel things up this little ramp into the building. That's probably why that's there. All right, so I'm going to keep going. And we'll see what we find next. Ah, here's something. What is that thing called? It's metal. It's on the ground. It is called a manhole cover. So if I pulled this round circle up, which would be very hard for me to do, I'd probably need a special tool, and I would have to be very strong because it's very heavy. But if I pull that up, there's a big hole under there, and you can go down in that to work on things that are underneath the street. So that's what that is for. And there's another one. There's another one. And you're going to see those on any sidewalk, anywhere you go. You're going to see something like that, a manhole cover from time to time. Here are men working. Oh, here's something good. I'll go past it a little bit so you can see. There is caution tape, this yellow tape, tied to these little cones. So when you see something like this, this means that you should not go past this line, okay? So you don't want to try to go through this area. People are in here, they're working, and there are things that are dangerous, like a ladder, things that you could bump into. So they have the whole area sectioned off so that people won't walk through there and get hurt. And also so they have room to work without people bothering them. All right, we're going to keep going. There's another kind of little manhole cover, and that's a very small one, so there's probably some kind of pipe under there. Oh, it says water, so that's probably where you turn water on and off to the building. There is a flower pot. Sometimes you have big flower pots when you're around a shopping center or some kind of area where you're walking. Oh, here's another warning strip. And there's no crosswalk, so this is not the best place to cross, but it's possible to cross there if you need to. There's another speed bump. And here is another crosswalk. This is a crosswalk. So this one's different. I'm going to show it to you after the people cross it. There's the warning strip, and there's the crosswalk. Now, it's not painted, but it's different than the street. It's made of bricks. I'll get closer so you can see them. So it has a different texture, and you would feel that with your cane if you were going across, that it feels different from the street. So sometimes a crosswalk has a different texture, sometimes it has lines painted on it, and sometimes it has both. It's really nice if it has both, because if you can't see anything, you really can't see the painting of the crosswalk. You can see it, Ollie, I'm pretty sure, but a lot of people who have a visual impairment can't see it, so it would be nice if they get a texture. I don't know if you can hear the wind blowing, but it's blowing. All right. Keep going. This curb is painted yellow, and that means that you're not supposed to park there. Here's something you should see. A mailbox. So that's a public mailbox. You can drop your mail in there and have it delivered. Here's another warning strip without a crosswalk, but people would cross over here because there's cars parked over there. Here's outdoor seating at a restaurant. That's something that you find when you're at a shopping center, so you have to be careful not to run into any of the chairs or the tables. There are trash cans out in public areas. Some more outdoor spots. More outdoor spots. There's somebody delivering something. So remember I told you there were some doors? There's what it looks like when the doors are open. Somebody is taking something into the building, but it says do not enter because people like me who are just shoppers are not supposed to go in there, but people who work here can. Here's something different that we haven't seen yet. A bench. So a lot of times when you're walking along the sidewalk, you might find a bench because there are places for people to sit to take a little rest from their shopping. There's another one of those. Remember what that's called? I hope you got it right. Fire hydrant. So here's a nice little area here. There is a yellow curb. There's a fire hydrant. There's a warning strip, and there's another textured crosswalk, not painted, but textured. And the cars are going across it. And I'm going to keep walking. There's another manhole cover. Oh, and this says what it is. Can you read it? It says storm drain. So this is the storm drain, and you can see that this is where the water flows from the street down underneath into the storm drain. Oh, and guess where we are? Do you recognize any of these symbols? We're at Target. The Target store is one of the stores at this mall. Target always has these big red balls, and they are so that cars don't drive up onto the sidewalk. It's like a little barrier. They also have these closer to the door. And look what's here, a big giant warning strip. It's letting us know that the driveway is in front of us and we need to stop and look both ways and be careful before crossing the street. And there's a really big giant crosswalk here. It's a different texture. It's not painted. It's just a different texture. And there go the carts. So when you're walking through a parking lot, you might find carts that people left behind. So you have to be careful. And here's something else we see. What is that? What does that say? It says stop. So what happens here is the cars have to stop so that the people can go across. And the rest of the places we've been in this parking lot, that is not the case. There wasn't a stop sign for the cars, but there is one here, so that's kind of nice. So that gives you an extra protected area to cross. Sometimes you find trees around a store or shopping center to make it look nice. Trees and plants. And here is another bench. So there's often a lot of different places to sit and relax. And I'll let you see, just like I said, sometimes there are carts in the way. There's a cart just sitting here that somebody left behind. So you have to be careful. You have to be on the lookout and paying attention for things like that that you could run into. Oop, and there's another one, another warning strip and a crosswalk. This one is textured with bricks, not painted. And there's also another stop sign. So sometimes the bigger stores might have some stop signs around to help with the pedestrian traffic, so that the cars have some directions and the pedestrians have some places where it's safer for them to cross. All right, so this is the side of this big Target store, and there's a lot of plants and trees along this wall. And there's no entrances or exits, it's just a sidewalk to walk on. And I'm gonna walk down the sidewalk and see if I can find any more crosswalks. Oh, here's some signs you should notice. That means no parking. It's a P with a big X, a big red X through it. So that means no parking. So cars are not allowed to park along this sidewalk because they would be in the way. And what did we find? What is it? It's a warning strip and a textured crosswalk made of bricks. But no stop sign, so as you see, the cars are just moving. If I wanted to cross, one of the cars might slow down or stop for me, but they do not have to. I am in the state of Maryland right now. They don't have to do that. There's another sign. What do you think? What do you think that sign might mean? It's a yellow diamond shape, and it's got a walking person. It's letting you know that there's a crosswalk. That's what that sign means, that there's a crosswalk here, and that sign is for the cars to be looking out for people who might decide to cross over right there. I'm going to keep going down the sidewalk until I get to the back of this store, and I'll be at the back of the mall because this is a mall, just like Manassas Mall. It's got a bunch of different stores in it. here's another sign. This says, read what that says. So this is a door. I'm not sure what fire door means. I don't know if that means it's for firefighters or it's for people to exit the mall, but it's saying don't block it. It's probably a door to get out of the mall if there was a fire. So they're saying don't block this door, because if people needed to get out, we would want them to be able to do it. Oh, look at that. There's another one, another warning strip and another textured crosswalk. And there is a stop sign here too. So the cars that come here, there's also stop written on the street, so the cars have to stop. This is an intersection, a T-shaped intersection. So cars that stop here can go left or right. And we're gonna walk away from it. And there's another one, another warning strip. Now this is just a big warning strip letting people know that the driveway's here. There isn't a crosswalk, but people would cross the street here. And here is something that you might hear in the community, a door. So that was an automatic door. I'm going to let you watch it close. It's open. People are going in. And then it closes. Oops, it opened again because somebody's coming out. So when you hear that, that's a good clue for you to where doors are, because you can hear some of the doors. Sometimes you can't hear the doors. People have to open them themselves. But when they're automatic, they usually make some kind of sound and you can hear them as you're walking by. So it makes it kind of easy for you to find the door. And there's another warning strip. So this area has a lot of warning strips because there are a lot of driveways and a lot of places where cars can be moving and people need to be aware. And I've come around the back where Target is, and there's a lot of other stores here. And here is another warning strip. You can't really see this one very well. It's kind of old and beat up, but I can feel it with my foot, so your cane would definitely be able to feel it. And there isn't a crosswalk painted here, but this is a place to cross. I would go across here. There is a stop sign. And what this is that I'm crossing is it's a driveway where trucks can drive in and deliver things. So you don't really have to worry about a car being here, but a truck might be here delivering. But that would be pretty noticeable because you would see it and hear it because it would be big and loud. And here is the warning strip letting me know I made it across and I'm back on the sidewalk again. So I'm going to walk towards another entrance and exit to this mall. And they do have some trees planted back here to make it nice and pretty. And we'll find a couple more things here at this entrance. We've got something we haven't seen until now. Do you know what this is? You would be able to tell if something was parked here, but that is a bike rack, so people can park their bikes there and lock them up. Then we also have another warning strip and a curb cut out. So if a person was here in a wheelchair, they could exit here and your cane would feel this textured warning strip. All right, so I am now at the back of this mall. Here is another door, and it's going to open up automatically when I get close to it. There it goes. Did you hear it? Yep. So that is the end of our visit to the mall today. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you have an awesome summer. And I hope to see you later on, okay? Have a great summer. I'll talk to you later. Bye.